Good evening, third and fourth grade. This is Mr. Mousing, as always, and I hope you are doing well and are staying healthy and safe at this time. It has been a very eventful and quite the interesting past couple weeks. I'm sorry I haven't posted a lesson in a while, but as I've been telling some of my other students, I don't do it every week because, first of all, if I posted a lesson every single week, eventually you'd be like, stop! It's too many. And if I posted an assignment every week, again, you would be like, stop! It's too much. So I try to space it out. Try to do every couple weeks. And usually the lessons will be posted either Friday, Saturday, Sunday. One of those days. Try to keep you on your toes. Mm. So it's going to be either one of those days. You never know when, but it'll always be by Sunday night. Okay? So if you haven't seen something by then, just assume that it's not there. Okay? Um, and that'll be there next week. Okay? All right. So, dotted notes. And Batman is saying, seriously, dude, can't you fly? What am I doing with my life? Sorry. That was my best Batman voice. Not bad. Do I make a good Christian Bale? I think so. That's his Batman voice. I am Dotted Note Man, is what Superman says. And why are they doing that right now? Well, I'll get to that right now. Look up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. What in the world is that? Well, this strange masked Avenger, fourth graders, you probably know this. DHN. Well, it was in the title there. And we know what this rhythm is by itself. It's a half note. But then we have a dot. Well, put those together. Dot, half note, dotted half note. Ta-da! Boy, that didn't take long. Dotted half note. Okay, so a half note is worth 2 beats, right? It's worth 2 beats. But, and a whole note is worth 4 beats. So if a dotted half, well, if a half note is worth 2, and a whole note is worth 4, then a dotted half note has to be somewhere in between. I mean, that's the only thing that makes sense to me. How about you? That's the only thing that would probably make the most sense. Well, there's a little bit of a, shall I say, um, process. Yeah, let's say process. To figuring out how much that dotted half note is worth. Are you ready? Buckle your seatbelts because this is where it gets a little bit confusing, but it's the only way I know how to say this. Okay? The dotted half note is worth half, that dot is worth half of whatever it's attached to. Okay. Okay. Yeah. All right. So that dot is worth half of whatever it's attached to. Okay, so that little dot, okay, counts like, okay, so say you put that dot next to a half note, right? Okay. If that half note was 2, right? And you now stick this dot, whoop, right next to it. You now have 3 because half of 2 is 1, right? And 2 plus 1 is 3. Okay? So that's why I say that rule of the dot is half of the value of the note it's attached to. Why do we need dotted notes? I'll tell you why. Because there are some rhythms we just can't make with half notes, whole notes, and quarter notes. Quarter notes can only equal, well, they can't only, but most of the time they only equal 1 beat. Half notes only make 2 beats. Whole notes only make 4 beats, right? So you gotta have something to help. We need help in making 3 beats. We need help in making, you know, 5 beats, 7 beats, those odd numbered beats, 9 beats, right? So this is where the dotted note comes into play. Like in this next slide here. A quarter note plus a dot. All right, hang on tight. This is where it gets even more confusing. A quarter note plus that dot. Half of 1 is a half, or 1/2, right? Like half of $1 is 50 cents or 0.5, right? Okay, so I shouldn't say 0.5, sorry. But half of $1, or half of $1 is 50 cents, right? Half of a whole pie is half a pie, right? Or half of a pizza is half a pizza, right? Can you tell I like pizza? Yeah, I do. So 1 plus half, because that dot is worth half of whatever it's attached to, is 1.5 beats. Now, the rule is whatever you have to draw, you have to draw the dot to the right, to the right, to the right, to the right of the note, of the note, of the note, of the note, not the left, not the left, just like the stems. Okay, sorry, I had to do that song again, just like every good. I'm sorry, I won't do it. I'm sorry. I know. Don't you got enough of that last year? Okay, I won't do it this year. I promise. Um, four beats and a whole note, right? Okay. 4 quarter notes would add up to a whole note, right? I showed you that tree one time. And that tree breaks down. A whole note is the biggest amount of beats. It's the most you can have, 4 beats, right? Plus, half of 4 is 2. So we draw that rhythm like this, right? That's going to equal, you got it, 6 beats. Okay? This one's 4. This one's 2. And that would be 6 beats. Aha. How do we draw this, though? That's a good question. How do we draw that? Well, I'm going to show you in a second. Ready? What did we have to do in that third problem? Okay. We did some good old math there, by the way. That's why that guy's kind of hitting his head. Did you know there's math in music? You know, I said that in class, and everybody's like, there's math in music? What? Well, yeah, there's math in music. There's always math in music. There's other subjects too. There's science in music. There's history in music. There's all sorts of different subjects in music, but there's definitely math in music. There's a lot of math in music. You cannot escape that. You cannot escape that subject. Okay? So you have to know a little bit of math to be able to understand music. and I know quite enough math to know music. Um, so, with that said, what that how we would connect the whole note plus that half note there is like this. You may have seen this on my carpet one time. If some of you ever had this carpet square at school in my classroom. See what that guy is underneath those two notes? He is called a tie. The tie, it kind of works like a dot, but not really. Not really. Because the tie can do things a dot can't do. With a tie, you can add as many notes on as you want, or as many rhythms as you want together. You could add another half note, and another half note, and another, and another, and another, and you could just keep going on. You could add on a quarter note if you wanted to. You could change it up. Add a quarter note. Add some eighth notes. Who knows? But that's the beauty of the tie. And most of the time, you add a tie from one measure into another. Okay? So if you're ending a measure here, you usually use a tie to carry from one measure into another. That's how it's used. But it's also used in the measure, within the measure too. It's used both ways. So that's kind of cool. All right. So there will be an assignment posted by tomorrow for you to do. It will have to do with dotted notes. Okay. Actually, it will probably be posted. Oh, goodness. Yeah, it will be. I'll probably post it on Friday. It'll either be posted by Monday or at the very latest Friday, I would say. Because I need some time to make sure all of the final pieces are together. And what you are going to do is I'd like you to, if you can, print it out at home and take a picture of your assignment, just like we used to do last year. You know how I used to make you take your Chromebook camera and take a picture of the assignment and then upload that picture into Google Classroom? Well, I'm going to make you do that again this year, okay? So, or email that picture to me. Either way is fine. But we'll do that again for this year too. Just for this one assignment though. Okay. But we'll get to that on Friday. I'll have instructions for you either tomorrow or by Friday. Like I said, I've got to make sure I have all the final pieces. Okay. So in the meantime, hope everybody's staying safe and healthy. Take care.